I've had changes in relationships and then been the uninvited one and had to just kind of come to terms with like, okay, things are going to change, but also, you know, do I need to take everything personally?
Yeah.
Just because two friends are hanging out doesn't mean I'm no longer their friend.
Nope. Hi, Bailey.
Hi, Cody. We're back.
How are you doing?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm so great.
Good.
This is fun.
This is fun.
It's fun to talk to friends about things that are happening in life.
It's true.
It's
true.
And we're going to talk today about friendship.
I love it.
About women and friendship.
Yeah.
Because we're women.
We are. And relationships are important.
They are. We're made to be in community.
Yeah.
And actually, I was thinking about the scripture. I can't remember where it's at.
That's
and
okay.
you probably won't be able to look it up either because I'm not sure I can describe it very well. But, well, I was talking about after... it was Pentecost, I think, where they all were gathering together and they were all sharing and they were all encouraging each other. And it just talks about this very like distinct community. And I love that scripture because we're made to be in relationship. We're made to help each other, walk alongside each other. And we are a social being.
It's true.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about friendship and I don't know.
See where it goes.
All the things.
Yeah.
See if we can stay on topic. We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, it'll be good. Yeah. So how are your friendships?
You know.
You like that?
Yeah.
Put you on the spot.
That was really smooth. You know, talking points are great. I think it's so interesting. Friendships they are interesting as an adult.
Yeah. I was going to say even how I can narrow it down, you know, friendships as an adult, friendships as a mom.
Oh yeah. I think, they can be tricky.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because as a preschool teacher, I literally am teaching kids how to make friends.
Yeah.
And how to build those relationships. And I don't know what happens. So with a preschool relationship,
I was going to say, tell me how you tell them to make friends.
What you do is you ask to play with somebody.
Yeah.
And you find because normally if you're asking a friend to play, that's a common interest. So a kid playing with dinosaurs, you like dinosaurs? Great. You're going to go play with the friend playing dinosaurs. So, I mean, you know, you find your common interests and you play together. And somewhere along the line, it gets almost weirder to be like approaching somebody and then expressing like, I want to be your friend. And I don't know what age that is. I can see it in my almost fourth grader where when we started a new school program, I mean, it's like, she's nervous to join this new program. And like, how do I do this? How do I make my friends? Cause she's grown up with the same friends her whole life. And anyway, it just gets trickier in different ages. And as a mom, you add something different to it because you have kids in the mix. And unless your kids are not really with you and then you're going over to hang out with your friends, I mean, you're kind of managing both motherhood and friendship at the same time when you're with people.
Yeah.
And it's important with like how they're parenting because it might not, you know, mesh with yours. Anyway, it's such an interesting thing as a mom trying to make friends. And at this point in our lives, it's not just like, hey, you like dinosaurs and I like dinosaurs, because that's not what we do. It's a lot about values.
Yeah.
And we're also balancing personalities and you know, that comes with like how much your social battery. I mean, it's just being a mom and trying to find friendships is an interesting thing.
It is. I think you're onto something though with the preschoolers.
Yes.
Because it is true. I think that we have overcomplicated it.
So
first of
much
all.
so.
And you know, how, cause we hear from a lot of people. I hear from a lot of people. I don't have any friends.
Yeah.
I don't get invited. And it's not, it's just not uncommon for people to feel isolated and alone or that they lack connection. And, you know, I think, you know, I am more introverted and in the last, I don't know, few years, it feels like I finally figured out how to make friends. Not that I haven't had friends, but it's an investment relationship.
Totally.
And like you said, with the kids, it's like, hey, I like dinosaurs. Do you want to play? Really, it really can be that simple where you're having a quick conversation with someone really anywhere. You know, we spend a lot of time at church or doing church things. And so, you know, meeting somebody or whether it's at school with our kids or, you know, whatever it is, but every day we're having quick conversations. Every day when we're out and about, there are quick conversations. And a lot of times we can tell pretty quick, hey, this person's kind of fun. Yeah. I like that it's as simple as going, hey, do you want to go grab coffee sometime?
Right.
And that's not weird. And I think that's what I finally figured out. I think when you don't do it, and again, when you're introverted, like my train of thought has always been, well, if they want to hang out with me, they'll ask.
Right.
People don't ask anymore. I mean, I really don't feel like, at least in my life, they don't ask anymore. No. But really, when I'm talking to a lot of people, the inviters are few.
Right.
That's what
It's
I really
so
feel
true.
like, because we get busy with our lives, with our jobs, with our own families. And my friend, Pastor Kara, I love what she says. She says, invest in the friendships that you're going to need in 5 years.
I love that too.
Yeah. Because, again, when you're in the trenches, when you have littles, it's hard to do anything but the kids. But in a few years, you're going to need friends. Or, even as an adult, 5 years from now, when your parents are aging or whatever it is, like, you're going to need that support and that friendship. And it's worth investing in now, not, when it's like, shoot, I really could use the support. I have no friends. It's like, it's time. Right now is the time.
It's so true. And I think it's important too, to kind of have not just like befriend people that aren't just in that same phase of life as you.
Yeah.
I think one of my most absolute, like the biggest blessings in my life is really having you, who is there. You're older than I am. And
13 years.
no, you don't have, no, but it doesn't feel that way. I don't even know what that's supposed to feel like. I'll just have you know, but it has been such a huge blessing in my life because I have like, we met like what,
Probably 8 years ago. The girls were.
And that was when my oldest was a year and a half. And so, and then your oldest, I think at that time was 11, 10, no.
Let's see.
She was like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And so what's cool is I've been able to see how you have been parenting your kids because now my oldest is almost 10. So basically where we started with our relationship is where we how do I word this? Where we started, Caden was 10.
Yeah.
Where I'm at right now, Ellie's almost 10.
Yeah.
And so I've had this whole like phase of life where I get to see you work through the teenage years with your girls. And that's what I'm about to come up on. And it's been such a blessing just to kind of like talk with you about it because Lord, forgive me. I've said more times than I should. Jesus, please come back before they're teenagers. Jesus, please come get your people. I'm not because in our last episode, we talked about parenting and I've got a spicy kid and so what has scared me, and I know I'm not supposed to have any fear. I praise the Lord for it.
He helps us.
Yes, he does help me. And the Holy Spirit is so good. But I have like thought about before, like if it's like this right now, what's it going to be like when they're teenagers? But being friends with you and you being in kind of like that next phase of life has shown me that, and now that Caden has graduated, it's given me so much hope. Like you can have good, healthy relationships with your kids.
Absolutely.
And you can make it through this, like the younger years are tricky. They can be. And you can, if you treasure the relationships, if you value the relationships and you work with them and you even keep it in a way where, your kids they're not afraid of you.
No.
And you can nurture that.
Yeah.
And through the teenage years is good. So I think one of the biggest blessings is, even though we're
People in
not
different
like,
spots. Yeah.
It can feel fun to have like a mom friend with toddlers and you have toddlers and you're going through it together.
Yeah.
But having a mom friend who's been through that already and has been like, oh my goodness, my kid used to do that too. Here's what got me through that is so great.
Yeah.
But then there's the question, how do we develop that? Especially as you're an introvert. Like I'm an introvert and I am one of the ones that unfortunately I am not like, I've never been an inviter because I am a homebody.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I think when I do something, when I go out, I'm accomplishing something. Like I'm going grocery shopping. Pretty much that's it. That's pretty much what I'm getting craft supplies.
That's all we do
at Hobby Lobby. I go to Costco. I don't have any hobbies. I think my hobby is creating. I don't know.
I know hobbies. That's a whole nother podcast.
There's a lot of pressure for a hobby, but no.
Men have all the hobbies in the world.
Hobbies. And I think that's wonderful. They're very physical. Men are just,
And I feel like women, I don't know. If you have a hobby, please.
Yeah,
give us
hobby
some
ideas for women.
We're always looking for hobby ideas.
I don't know if I tried knitting.
I do think having an outlet is important.
Yeah.
And friends can be a big part of that.
They can.
And hobbies.
But women don't. Like, and so for me, it's like, where am I going? Like, we're on a limited budget. Both my husband and I are self-employed. So it's like, I can't go out to eat every Wednesday.
Yeah.
I also like if I'm hanging out with somebody, having my kids, this sounds terrible, but not there so I can actually have a conversation is really nice.
It is.
So when can I do that? I can do that after 8:00.
Right.
But then again, that's also the time that I would love to see my husband.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many reasons why it's like, okay, this is kind of hard to fit in.
Friendship is hard.
But you have mentioned, like, if you make time for the people that are important to you.
You do.
And even if it's not like, you can't do it every night.
No.
Maybe you can't even fit it in once a week. Figure out once a month. I don't know, but try. Figure out something you can do. And sometimes I'll resort to like, hey, I'm going to Costco.
Yeah.
You want to go to Costco with me?
I know a lot of people do that, inviting their people they want to spend time with into their everyday stuff.
The mundane.
It is. It's true. Because I mean, everybody's got to go grocery shopping. Although I feel like I'm a horrible, like, I don't know that I would have to go and watch you grocery shop because I don't usually go with a list. And I would be like, I can't think and visit with you at the same time.
It does
I'm
get
not
tricky.
a multitasker, which is also hard to talk and not talk, but to shop with your children.
Oh, so hard.
It's very difficult.
Which is why I've gone to online pickup orders.
I should probably make a list. Again, sorry, totally off the subject.
Topic. That's okay.
But relatable at the same time. But it isn't. We need those friendships, and I had those friendships too when my girls were little. And again, I've mentioned that I spent years. I feel like shepherding, guiding, correcting my strong-willed child, and it was so helpful to have these moms who were 5, 6, 7 years ahead of me because they're like, it's going to be okay. You're doing the right things. Yep. Just keep going, you know, and it's true. Getting through that stuff, you know, those hard parts of parenting, because I talk to a lot of moms too, and their parenting can be really hard and very isolating, especially when they're young. But I'm telling you, I think that's the thing that I've learned. It's like, make the coffee date, like figure it out. A lot of times we have loving spouses who are like, go take a couple hours. I'll watch the kids. And again, it's not going out every time your husband's home because, you know, you need to spend time with your spouse.
Totally.
But just realizing that investment is important. And I know that's something for me too. There's been times where I'm like, I don't feel like I have anything left at the end of the day.
Right.
But I think there's a pushing through of that. Sometimes that's important too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, you don't have to go do something crazy, you know, but just going to grab a coffee, you might be surprised at how much energy you can find when you get out of the house and you sit down with a friend and you just grab a cup of coffee and have a conversation. So, I mean, I think those are some barriers, you know, being tired, going, I don't want to go anywhere, but sometimes it's worth going. I mean, there's been so many times the introverts that, I mean, again, we're both introverts. There's like, please cancel, please cancel, please cancel.
Do you know how many times I've said my favorite plans are canceled plans? Like, it's so bad. Like, it's so sort of like, oh, you can't make it work today? Okay, this is fine. Let me just get my pajamas back on. That's not the attitude you should have when you're trying to make friends.
No.
But it really is important. Like there's a certain kind of like, when you're able to go and connect with somebody, there's an energizing thing about it.
There is.
And I'm trying to be better. I don't know. I'm not probably any better about reaching out and like saying, hey, do you want to go do something? Because it's got to work. Life feels busy and feels full.
It is. It's always going to be busy.
Yeah. No,
until it's not.
Exactly.
And then you're going to be lonely because you didn't take the time to make the friends you needed 5 years from now.
And I think one of the things to do is can you make it like a mundane thing? Because sometimes when you're available might be at 7:30 at night and what has coffee open? I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, could you go to that friend's house and when all of the kids are sleeping and it's just you two hanging out? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Is a FaceTime date possible?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, you just kind of have to you have to just ask and you have to just see where it goes from there. Like send the scary text. Do you want to go get dinner?
Yeah.
And then most of the time moms are like, oh yeah. Or just women in general. Like, I want connection too.
Yeah.
And just
I honestly think FaceTime is a really cool tool.
It is.
Because you are literally seeing the person's face. Yes, you can talk on the phone, but there's something that feels a little more human.
So true.
About the FaceTime. You see the reactions, you see that. And it's like, I can remember when I started making FaceTime calls to people, I'm like, is this weird? But it's not. It's not that weird.
It's only weird if you make it weird.
I know, if people don't want to answer, they don't have to answer. No. And that's totally fine. But I think FaceTime can be a really great tool for connection when it's like, I have the energy to talk to someone and I don't want to go to my house, but I can call someone.
It's so true.
I mean, it sounds silly. And again, I'm sure I wonder what the extroverts are thinking right now. You should totally let us know. But I can speak a little bit. Maybe we could try to, like, we have extroverted friends.
Yeah.
And, I think just as, the alone time for us is very energizing, the people time for the extroverts is really energizing.
Right.
But I would say too that there's moms who get stuck again, where it's like they've spent all their energy.
Yeah.
But again, investing in those friendships and just I think even planning ahead, like sometimes making a commitment beforehand is better than like last minute.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in the moment I'm like, dude, no. But if something is scheduled out a week or two ahead of time, then it's like, I'm not going to back out of that.
Right.
My sister, every now and then I will call my sister and be like, okay, how do you do this? How do you make friends? Because she's lived in so many different places and they've built just deep relationships in all these places that they have gone, and they've got friends all over the country.
That's so cool.
And one of the things that they say is just show up.
Yeah.
And it's super simple, but it finally has started to set in. Like when you get an invite, say yes. Don't go, oh, I'm too tired. If somebody invites you somewhere, just say yes.
Sure.
Show up. I've had a couple invites to like different things, strangely enough, with some younger women. And I'm like, they don't want me hanging out, the pastor's wife, whatever. It's just an obligatory thing. And I've showed up a couple times and I realize, like, kind of like you're saying, the different generations.
Yeah.
That's important.
So important.
And what's been cool is even showing up to those things, I've gotten to know some of these younger ladies, and I'm like, oh, they're gifted in this or they're gifted in that. And I'm like, it's cool to be able to even speak into what I'm seeing in them.
Yeah.
But I would never have had that opportunity if I didn't show up.
No. And that's something, maybe it's just trending because I don't know. Something possibly that's trending online is like, if you want a village, you have to be a villager. And that you can't just expect, like you were saying, like you were not the inviter, but you can't expect that the invitation's always going to come to you.
Yeah.
Take those opportunities. If there's an event at church, if there's an event somewhere, library, like if you have a mom with young kids, go to the library for story time, be a villager, find things to be a part of, and then you kind of sometimes go alone with the intent to connect with somebody else. If you're always maybe tagging like a comfort buddy around with you, like if you have one, I don't know. If you want to branch out and make more friends, do it alone and purpose to make connection with people. Kind of walk into it like, you know what? I'm going to try to find somebody else who maybe looks lonely too. Yeah. In elementary school, they have the lonely bench and everywhere. And any kid who wants to play with somebody, they just sit on the lonely bench and another kid will see the need and they'll approach them. Look for somebody else.
Why don't they have those at like mom mixers? Because I know that they have like these park things. Like they should totally have.
They need like a buddy bench. I guess that's what it's called. It's called the buddy bench,
yeah,
not
lonely
a lonely bench.
Sounds really like depressing.
Are you lonely? No, but it's called the buddy bench, and that's what they do.
That. Like, I don't know anybody here. I'm going to sit on the bench.
Sit on the buddy bench, and somebody approaches. Like whenever it's usually pretty empty because it's not long when a kid sits down that another one comes and says, "Hey, do you want to go play this?"
Yeah. Well, and as adults, we can see that if somebody's sitting by themselves, go talk to them.
Yeah, do it. And it feels so uncomfortable sometimes. But if you were the one sitting by yourself, wouldn't you want somebody to approach you? I mean, you came to this event, came to something.
I'm an introvert.
I'm an introvert too.
So sometimes no.
No. But, even like.
But it's a good thing to do.
It is. And just making small talk in general is really hard.
Yeah.
But finding a way to connect in just whatever, like, I don't know, something random is fun and a laugh. I don't know.
I've actually looked at my very extroverted daughter and she's so great. And really it can be as simple as going, oh my gosh, I love that shirt.
Yeah.
Where did you get it? And then just see where it goes. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. Like complimenting people is a great way to start a conversation. Because a lot of times, especially if you're somebody like me, I get awkward and like overshare. Oh yeah, I got it from Target and it was on sale and there was another one. I mean, it's like you might get more than you bargained for, but really complimenting someone is a great way to start conversation, and just to be friendly. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of see where it goes. I read a book a few years ago and they compared making friends to dating. And I thought it was a really great I thought it was a great analogy or a great comparison, because it's like, again, you have a quick conversation. You're like, oh, that person seems interesting. Let's go get coffee. You're like, oh, this feels really awkward, just like it would on a first date.
Right.
But you have coffee and you talk, and like maybe you hang out a couple times, and maybe you go, there's a friendship here.
Yeah.
Or maybe you go, I'm not sure that there really is much of friendship. Not that you're like dumping them, but you're finding your people.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes you have to kind of put yourself out there,
You do.
ask people, if you feel like you have a friendship connection, ask them to go do something.
Right.
And I mean, we've overcomplicated it.
We so have.
We've just have made it difficult. But showing up, being an inviter, having people over for dinner, I think is huge.
Yeah, it really is. Just kind of inviting them into your home and just sharing that home experience. And I think that is important.
Yeah. A lot of people, we make excuses a lot too. Well, my home's not big enough, or my home's not as tidy, or I don't like how my house is decorated. I think sometimes we just excuse ourselves out of doing anything uncomfortable.
It is.
And it's okay. Like, yes, you should clean up your house. Let's be real. But that's just a good thing to do, is have a clean house. But it doesn't have to be perfect.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that, there can't be any dust or anything like that. It's just be real, Not everybody has a perfectly decorated whatever. It's about the people. It's not about your home. It's not about how you look or how you're coming off.
No.
It's about connection.
It is.
Which you need.
And you like hopefully get to the point of like letting your guard down enough to let people see like, okay, yeah, fair warning, my dishes are in the sink.
Yeah.
Or, hey,
Yes.
I haven't changed out of my pajamas today. Like, but what I think it's the authenticity is what can keep a friendship.
Yep.
It's when you're not trying too hard and you just kind of let it like, just go easy with it. I think a lot of women do feel like they need to maintain an image in order to maintain a friendship.
Yeah.
And that can be a tricky thing. It can be tiresome. Yeah. And then on the other end, it can be like, I don't know, not feeling like you're getting deep enough with the person if they're not being an authentic kind of person. So letting yourself be comfortable with people enough, because I think that's what deepens the connection with a friendship. So yeah, when you're getting to know somebody, let your guard down a little bit. Show them, let them like connect with them deeply. Feel, you're gonna have to judge it out. You can't tell everybody everything.
No.
But as you get to know somebody, let your guard down and see what happens.
Yep.
And if you've been burned before, that is tricky, but not, I'd be willing to say that the majority of people aren't going to burn you.
Right.
If you just let people in and let your guard down enough, I think you're going to build something really great.
Yeah.
And you just never know who's going to, what kind of relationship it's going to be if you don't let your guard down.
No, it's true. I know, like when you and I were getting to know each other, I think one of the hardest things is to get to know, like, two introverts getting together to try to be friends can be very uncomfortable and very strange. But for us, it started with walking.
It did.
And we lived fairly close by at the moment. And so we both wanted to get more movement in our life, and we started walking together.
Yeah.
And I think walking, honestly, is a great way to get to know someone.
Yeah.
Because there's something that can be very intimidating about sitting across the table, staring at each other versus kind of shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
There's something that's disarming about that, where it's just, we ended up talking about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, we were stuck out in the middle of the country with,
Walking
dirt
on the
roads
gravel
and
roads.
walking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And so, that's one thing I'll say, like, meet up to walk, meet up to, like you said, pull people into what you're already doing.
Yes. It doesn't have to be anything crazy.
No.
And fancy. But I think that's where you find it. I think I haven't finished the whole book, but there was a book I started reading recently. The way that life used to be, and even indigenous like cultures around how they live as a village, and it's multiple generations and family around. And I think we've got a lot of people who move. Like in America, people just move and they're like, I'm moving this far away, or they're military families and they don't have that. But to find those people and to in the village life, like in indigenous countries, I mean, they are literally doing the everyday mundane, washing the laundry together. They're prepping meals together. And I think we've kind of romanticized it maybe in America, where you do have to go find a hobby in order to have friends, or like you need to do book club and cocktail hour or whatever. I don't know. Like go, I don't know what like people do, but like when you, if you watch trash reality TV, which I do not anymore, praise the Lord, but like there's like this expectation about like making an event an event. Yeah. And it only counts as hanging out if you're doing something extra special. I don't know. But in reality, what we're living is just the everyday. Yeah. And to build your village around like, okay, what are we already doing? And I think that's why it was easy to make a friend at church, because we've gotten so connected. Like it's just, that's what we do with life. I mean, church is a big part of our lives. Yeah. And we're just doing it alongside with the people, and we're getting comfortable with the people at the church. And I'm not trying to pretend like my life is perfect with the people that I've met at church. Yeah. I'm the same at home, weird, awkward I mean, I don't find myself awkward at home because I could just be whoever I need to be. But I know, according to my husband, Bailey, why did you say it that way? I don't know. I just did. You just are who you are wherever you go, and you let yourself be who you are and not try to pretend anything with people. And it turns out they usually, sometimes, most of the time, accept you for who you are.
It's so true.
Hopefully.
Well, and you're part of our culture at church that we've talked about, like in our women's groups and things like that, is about being a good friend, right? Like I think a lot of women have had not great female relationships where people were catty or gossipy. Yeah. And really we try to, our culture is that we're not going to be gossipy. We're not going to tell other people's stories. If it's not your story, you have no business telling it, right. So there's a confidentiality that you make a part of like who you are, and be a good friend, You said something else about friends. I don't know. The biggest thing is like, cause I'm kind of thinking, people will be like, well, I don't trust women, or I can't find people to hang out with, or I don't know. I think that there's always people.
There are always
people. It's just a matter of more of us going, I'm going to make time for this. I'm going to say yes to the invites,
Yeah. And I think too, what's also tricky is that like, once you feel like you have a friend, sometimes if you let insecurity creep in, that can do more damage to a friendship than just being. And one thing that, I mean, over the years, I've had changes in relationships and then been the uninvited one, and had to just kind of come to terms with like, okay, things are going to change, but also, do I need to take everything personally? Yeah. Just because two friends are hanging out doesn't mean I'm no longer their friend. Nope. And I think that there can be like, sort of like, if we let that creep in and insecurity creep in, and the other friends, I mean, we have enough space in our heart. Yeah. We have enough love in our hearts to be able to be like, I am friends with this person and this person, and I should want my friend to experience joy with other people. Yeah. Because what can happen is if we're constantly feeling that way, we can destroy that relationship and we can suffocate somebody to the point where we're like, okay, no, I cannot do this. Yeah. And it becomes unhealthy. Yeah. So we should be joyful for people having other friendships. Well, I think
social media has made this whole comparison thing, right? Where it's like they hung out and they did this, and I think there's two things to that. I think one is, yes, we need to not be like, so like, why did I get invited? Right. Why are they hanging out? I didn't know. It's okay that happens. Yes. But even something that, I've even talked to my girls. I'm also like, don't be too inside jokey where somebody is totally on the outs and has no idea. When you're in like group settings, absolutely, don't make someone feel like the outsider, right? It's okay that we have other things and we hang out, but only talking about this great thing we did this one time when we're with somebody else, like that's just kind of unkind. You're kind of leaving somebody out. Really is and we don't want to make people feel left out. Like we can control some of that, but there's other things where it's like, yeah, it's okay that you have more than one friend. Absolutely. It's okay that you spend time with more than one person. Yeah. It's a good thing.
Right. And there's a fine line to that. Like I've been on the outside. And so, and
I think we've all been on the outside, really.
Sure. And it's that thing of just having empathy. Like, okay, if I were to say this, would this person like feel left out.
Yeah.
And I think it's perfectly fine to like especially on social media.
Yeah.
You know, post a picture with a friend.
Right.
But when it becomes like be sensitive to other people. If you're constantly like posting pictures with a certain friend, I mean, that can hurt other relationships. It's so tricky.
It is tricky. But then there's also the side where I should be able to live my life.
Exactly.
I mean, social media.
Sure. And we should never be walking on eggshells. I don't feel like any friend should be making somebody else walk on eggshells. Like live your life.
Yeah.
Understand people have the capacity for more than one friendship and to be joyful. And I mean, I don't post pictures of, I just don't take pictures. I don't prefer pictures. I really like to just kind of be in the moment and just enjoy it. I think it's fun. And I don't really like to see myself in pictures. Anyway, that doesn't even matter.
Yeah. But I think the point is like when people are feeling left out, like what do they do? What do we do?
Right.
I think it's really, we kind of talk ourselves down for one, but if there's something fun that you want to go do and you saw somebody else go do it, make a plan.
Yes.
And invite somebody to go do that fun thing that you saw, you know? So something that so growing up, my relationship maturity, I'm working through even, you know, anyway, growing up though, my kind of MO, the way I would handle a hard situation with a friend, or if something felt like it was contentious or whatever, I'd be like, I don't have time for this. I'm out. And I've learned that you can't do that. No. That's probably not the best way. I think there are some friendships where if they're toxic, if they're really bad, obviously we're not trying to make every friendship last forever. I don't think that that's always a good plan. But I think what I've had to learn is like there are times to lean into the conflict or lean into, you know, what was said. And, you know, I had a mom do that one time that I was homeschooling with. And it was really kind of the first time, because she came to me, we had a couple of like, in group settings, there had been like a couple of snippy moments that kind of surprised me.
Sure.
Like, because at the time I was leading the group and I'm like, she reacted really sharply to that, what I said. And it kind of shocked me. But my thing was like, okay, well, whatever, I'll just let it go. And it was the first time she called me and she goes, you know, I know that there was this thing and I didn't understand and I was kind of offended and And it was honestly the first time. And she said, the friendship is worth talking about this thing. Cause I saw it, I felt it. And I was like, oh, I mean, it sounds dumb. I was like my mid-30s and it's like, oh, friendships are worth talking through, you know, because I was willing just to go, well, I'll just steer clear, whatever. And we're still friends now.
I love that.
And I love that. And we had a chance to talk and I had a chance to kind of explain where I was coming from. And she had a chance to explain where she was coming from. And would you believe that we resolved it and we figured out and we found some understanding. But I think, you know, I wonder, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if people just dive right into conflict, but I'm not one who does. But I'm learning that if there's a friendship, sometimes it's worth talking and worth sharing those things and seeing if it can be resolved, you know? And so, I'm learning not to throw away relationships.
I think that's wonderful. That's one of the things that, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. That's not just really poor timing. Okay.
Did you get it past it?
No, that's something I'm growing in. I think, and my personality, I don't like conflict.
No, most people
it's
don't.
So uncomfortable.
Some people are fighters, but I think most people don't.
No. And I think for me, what I've had to grow in, and I love that you've helped me with this, is that talk it. Like just like if something is weird, we're going to work through it. My whole life, I've just kind of like, okay, this is fine. Like we'll be fine. And I really do brush a lot of things under the rug because it doesn't need to be,
which is
big. Good. But at the same time, I mean like, and I'm not like a festerer. Like I'm not bitterly like hoarding this feeling. I let it go. But there are times where we should say something. Yeah. And I love that you have helped me kind of like, if the friendship is worth it, let's say something. Yeah. And I'm still working through like, okay, wait, what is worth saying something?
Right. I think that's a really great question.
I don't ever want to be the friend that's like, okay, you made me feel this way. Okay, when you said this, I didn't like that at all. Because it can feel nitpicky. And I don't want that. I don't want you to feel like I don't want you to be on eggshells with me. Like I want you to feel like you can be you, and that just know that if you let your guard down and you say something, I'm not gonna take immediate offense to it. Like
well, that's where the love scripture comes in too, where it's like love believes the best, hopes the best, and I think that is a really good thing to go back to.
Yeah. But there are times where you do have to set boundaries and you'd be like, okay, that wasn't right. Like, and that's something I'm working on, but also I don't feel like I've had a lot with you. I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, we've worked through stuff though. We absolutely have. And that, it's worth it.
Yeah,
right.
It totally is.
Awkward. It can be awkward.
Yes.
It can be emotional.
Yeah.
But in the end, it is worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I keep losing my train of thought.
Oh, nuts. I think you can keep thinking about it.
No, I've kind of gone blank.
Oh no. Okay. Well, if it does, just shout.
Yeah. The friendships and working through them and talking about stuff. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. So this is another thing that I've really learned to lean into and for several different reasons, but it's when you feel like something is off, ask, just go, hey, something feels off.
Right.
And be the person that will say, yeah, something is bothering me.
Right.
Like, I think that open communication is huge in any relationship. And so many times either we don't want to be confrontational or whatever. And we're like, no, everything's fine. And it's like, here's the thing that I think that I'm realizing is most of us aren't stupid. Most of us are not emotionally oblivious.
Right.
Like we can tell when someone's having a hard day. We can tell when there's tension. We can tell. And to ask and just go, hey, what's going on? Like trust that in you, but then be the person who can be honest, right? Yes. And say, yeah, I'm kind of having a hard time. Or, you know what? This thing is just bothering me and I'm having trouble letting it go. Right. And I'm glad you asked. And share. And maybe you don't have all the words, but sometimes when you start to communicate those hard things, then again, you're able to process them together and it actually makes the relationship stronger. I mean, I even think about that with my husband. I mean, there was years where I'm like, will you just tell me what I'm doing that's bothering you? Because I want to be a better wife, right? Yeah. I think the same thing is true in friendship. Most of us want to be better friends. Yeah. And if we have someone that loves us and then we can go, did I do something? Is there something bothering you? And for you to answer honestly, I think is super important. And then the Bible says iron sharpens iron. I want people in my life that are going to help me to be, walk in faith better, who are going to help me to be a better wife, a better friend, a better mom. And I invite people around me to be able to speak into my life, not to nitpick. Yeah. Because that's not what I'm looking for, someone to dissect every inaccurate thing that I do.
Right.
But sometimes it's nice having that outside looking in, that friend that can go, hey, that was a little harsh, or whatever. We can say those things in a loving way. Exactly. And it helped to just sharpen and, I don't know, help us to be better people and better friends and better leaders and all the things.
Yeah. And I think it all starts with just keeping a level head about everything and not overthinking or, I don't know, being too worried about it. I think, just even keeled in your friendships. And if something is really bothering you, then you can express it with love. And I think, I go back to my preschoolers all the time because we're all talking about friendship.
Great.
And what I teach my preschoolers is kind of something I wish that I knew growing up is like when you have a conflict with a friend, you avoid you did this. And it's more of like, okay, it really hurt my feelings, or I felt sad when I noticed you did this. It's kind of like, okay, my feelings were affected by something that you did. And it doesn't go straight to like when you blaming you. Right. Brains get defensive when we start going attacky. So like making sure that like the way that you are approaching confrontation is not so pointing the finger back at them. Yeah. And maybe even taking a moment too, if something's bothering you about that somebody did, think about why maybe they were behaving that way. Was it intentional? Is this person hanging out with this person because they're in the same interest, or is it because they don't want you around? Like, really, what really is the reason why maybe somebody's behaving? And give them the benefit of the doubt and then ask about it. Yeah. But when you're getting maybe up in arms about something, and go straight to the attack mode, that's the quickest way for somebody to be like, I don't know if I can handle this much in this relationship. It's hard. But keeping even, like just an even keeled, like, okay, I treasure you. I value you. I believe you value me. And we're coming at it from that point of view, as opposed to, I'm insecure about this relationship. Do you really want to be my friend? And now you got to prove it, kind of a thing. That's really, that's tricky.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
It can be, I will say, I've had people say to me before, are you mad at me? Guys, let's expect the best. You know, that question, that question, I would just, my little pro tip is don't ever ask somebody, are you mad at me? Like, I think it's okay to go, hey, something seems off.
Yeah.
But this, you know, be confident that, you know, again, my friend Pastor Kara, she says, I assume that everyone in the room wants to be my friend and that I'm invited unless you tell me otherwise.
Sure.
Like people are talking about going somewhere, sweet. Can I, you know, is there room for me to come? Whatever. But I love that outlook of going, I'm going to, instead of walking into a room, assuming I'm not this, I'm not that, they probably don't want me to, you know, talk to them, or they already have enough friends. Why don't we walk into a room and go, everybody here is my friend.
Right.
Who should I talk to first?
For real.
You know? And I think, honestly, I think that changes so much just from our own attitude and our own standpoint, is to walk in going, okay, all my friends are here.
Yeah. Who do I talk to first?
Yeah. And I think another great thing is, if you want to be a person who is inclusive, be just that, you know, I mean, even like physically speaking, don't close off the circle. Keep the group open so that people can walk up. That was also a major epiphany to me in my mid 30s, is that, like, how do you start conversation with people who are already talking? And they're like, you just walk up and join the conversation. I'm like, you can just walk up to people's conversations? You can do that?
Apparently so.
You really can.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will try to include you. I know I do that now.
Yeah.
Like if I see somebody who's walked up, I'll catch them up, like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Or if there is like something we're laughing about that they didn't experience, I'll explain it to them.
Yeah.
This is what happened, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all over the place.
I think even when, like, with the whole standing like a circle thing, I'll ever so often just kind of like peek behind me and be like, if there's somebody behind me, like, sorry, want to join us, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's keeping your circle open.
Inviting.
But again, I'm growing in so many areas. I think, like, when you in your mid 30s, I'm there, and it's all a thing. And I think a mindset shift that I have to make too is like, people want me around. You know, I'm going to just assume that people want me in there, even though it's hard to approach a group of people. It's just hard to approach people in general. But, you know, finding a compliment, like you already mentioned, putting yourself out there. That's really how it starts. They like dinosaurs. You like dinosaurs.
Absolutely.
Can I play with you? Hey, how's it going? Hey, I don't know. Like, I don't know what else you could say. Just find something in common with somebody.
So many things.
It's true.
I love it.
Yeah. It's a good time.
What else do you think?
So many things. I don't know.
I mean, we've covered a lot of the friendship. I feel like we've been all over the board in friendship. So hopefully.
Did we miss something? I'm still trying to figure out how to end a conversation. Like,
oh my gosh.
Okay, listen. This has been a just wheeze.
It's just the worst.
I can like start a conversation, but I get to a point like, okay, like, you know, like when it's it's done. When you feel like it's done, like, how do you end that bad boy? Like,
I'm not the person to ask.
Classic line. I'm going to go stand over there now.
This is how I used to end conversations. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I got to go talk to somebody over there now.
I've had to Google it, like, straight up, like, okay, what do you say? It was nice talking to you. Wait, what was that one thing I sent you a reel about? It was like before I go, I really enjoyed your shoes.
And then you just turn around and walk away. I don't know.
But there's a way, like, before
I stink at small talk. If somebody has some tips on small talk or a good small talk book or class that I could take, I'm all about it, because when I have conversation, we're going deep. I mean,
all the way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to know your family's history. I don't know.
You ask me about
happens.
Like what store I like to shop at. I will tell you about how I was left one time and I thought my parents forgot me, and it's going to go deep, and you're going to learn about childhood trauma somehow, some way. I actually don't have any, but I will overshare.
Yeah.
In the name of filling space.
So
help me.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to have an extrovert
yes.
on here to see what that's like, because I can't speak to that at all.
It could be like one of those panels, like a panel that like we ask them questions. In this situation, how do you?
What's that like?
What's it like?
What's it like to want to hang out with people all the time?
What's it like to be invited to a large gathering and be excited to go?
Yeah, what's it like to pull up to that gathering and not go, crap, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, and to not rehearse what you're going to say. What are my talking points?
Or to tell your husband, please don't leave me.
Yeah.
Just let me stay with you the whole time.
See me standing behind your shoulder, please let me in. No, it's a real thing.
It is.
Like somehow they get to talking, and then I'm like,
I don't know what to do. This is why sometimes
what do I do with my hands?
sometimes I just go sit by myself, and sometimes I'm okay with that. I will say though, put down the phone.
oh, I was literally just thinking like it's a pacifier.
No, don't put it down. Be willing. If you're going to sit by yourself, be willing to put the phone down and be approachable.
Corner. No, it's true. Be like looking approachable too. It's like, what's your face looking like? Are you looking like you're somebody that is approachable? If you want a friend, like I think on the buddy bench, kids usually sit like this.
It's really sad.
It is, but don't do that at a party.
No,
you know, like don't be sulky, and don't expect people to just like come up to you. You know, you got to be.
You can be the one that goes up to someone. Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So anyway, not trying to draw it out, but
Sorry.
yeah, it's totally the party thing. Yeah. Why did I do this? Why did I sign up for this? I'm all about planning the party and let someone else host it.
Oh,
that doesn't always happen. No. But you know what? We're learning and we're growing, we're stretching.
We are.
That's what life's
Uncomfortable
about.
experiences do help us grow.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. And you get better by practicing.
And I have also, decided that my children and I are going to practice. I told them, like, you know what? I need practice with small talk.
Yeah.
We're going to pretend right now that we are at a party, and we're just going to chat. I think they also need some help with small talk, like just talking, but practicing, like legitimately figuring out some things
seriously,
to say as an introvert.
I'm not
It's
kidding
a real
about
thing.
a small talk, like lessons.
No, me
I feel like I need them.
And ending conversations lessons.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that very gracefully.
No.
Yeah.
So
kind of like how this podcast is going.
Sorry, just kidding. We don't know how to cut off conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for chatting with me.
Yes. Before I go, I wanted to say thank you.
Before I go.
Oh dear.
So,
was that good?
Yeah.
Extroverts?
Let us know what you think, and what are some of your experiences, or even what you'd like to hear us chat about another time. And this has been fun.
It has been fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This was such a great time.
It is. It is fun. Enjoy it. So, all right. Until next time.
Bye.
Goodbye now.